Let's do this. Okay. It is 44 degrees out. I want you to know the difference because yesterday it was 64 and the day before that it was in the 80s in the morning. The sun is like literally not coming up anymore. Normally I would warm the car up first. Because of all the fact that it's relatively chilly this morning, it changes my mind about what I wanted to do about morning commute, because I was thinking about like going out into my car and basically shooting a half-hour video of me talking about anything before just going to work. You don't have the engine noises or anything like that. It would just be what you're used to seeing. I don't think I want to do that, and I don't want to waste the gas. Warming up the car, basically sitting in it and freezing my ass off. Because if I'm going to warm up the car, I'm going to warm up the car without me in it. I haven't gotten the job yet. I've gotten a couple inquiries about management positions. Which I'm interested in, mostly because they pay, and secondly, mostly because they pay, but secondly because it will be, a good and last job. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to move up in the ranks. I'm not looking for anything other than whatever I get, that's what I want to keep for the rest of my time employed. And die or retire is the only next job I'm going to have. Post office definitely put me 10 years behind, but then again, they just recently told me that I'm starting at square one. So if I stayed with the post office, I'd still be 10 years behind my original goal. And I have to admit, if they didn't tell me that I started over a year ago. Now I have a year in, but if they didn't tell me I started over, and think they get that. I don't think they understand. I don't think they understand that a year is not enough time to consider, like, I just wasted a freaking decade of my life, and what you're going to give me is a year. After all the abuse that I put up with, after everything that I've done, you took everything away. You take everything away from me. Everything. My ability to get promoted, a reference to an interior job that I tried to get. Telling the other postmaster that I was unreliable, unstable, and a bad fit for the post office, and they've tried to fire me twice. And I'm unsafe. And insubordinate. Pretty much what they told another postmaster. Which ruined my ability to get promoted. I put up with the shit. Put up with the lack of pay. Making me drive all over the place and not paying me the miles because I work too much, cutting out a day, which was known as Amazon Sunday. They decided not to pay me at all for that day and make it seem like I had that day off. As bad as the post office seems to the public right now, and I don't know how bad it sees the public sees the post office right now, with the missed deliveries, the halting mail, the lack of staff, and everything like that. I think they see a bunch of shit that, that the damage that DeJoy has done, from 97% approval rating to now we're in the 80s and we're still dropping. The transformation of the post office from a service industry, a service institution, to a business, to the point where my current postmaster, the one that I actually like, calls what she does a business. This is a business that she's running as a postmaster. Like she's a manager or something like that. She's not management. She's postmaster. Big difference. The service industry. We are not FedEx. We are not UPS. We're definitely not Amazon. There's a reason why they give the post office the last mile. There's a reason why you see the post office delivering Amazon packages, UPS packages, FedEx packages. Because those businesses aren't modeled to go everywhere. The post office model is every house, every person in America, every apartment is affected by the post office. No matter where you are, no matter how remote. The post office will deliver to you. That's the guarantee that the joy is breaking down. And with the disaster of the consolidating that they're trying to do in Maryland right now, I'm hoping that they see it as a disaster and not see the successes, because there isn't any of it, and mitigating disaster doesn't widespread throughout the country. But they're already making plans for it, so it's not like they're really testing it. They're basically just showing what's going to happen and how much of a disaster it's going to be. I'm done. I don't think I can handle that aspect that's going on right now, because it looks like the management, the postmasters and the district postmasters and everybody under DeJoy directly, I don't think that they're handling it really well either, because they're noticing that they might be consolidated. Under DeJoy, the district that I work in includes another state. It's a disaster. It's going to basically blow up in everybody's faces. You need to make it work unilaterally, not consolidated. They need to pay their workers. They need to stop fudging their books. This fucking thing with the sick days pisses me off beyond measure. The fact that I'm not allowed to call out sick without being punished for it. I'm being punished for calling out sick. It's what I like about the job that I'm getting. They don't have sick days and leave time. All they have is paid time off. You use it, you lose. You have use it or you don't use it. It's all one pool. That's how it should be. That is definitely how it should be. Make no mistake about it. Once I actually work for a business again, I'm going to treat it like a business. It's completely different than how I treat the post office. I gave the post office a lot of fucking leeway, and they gave me nothing back because they saw themselves as a business. Really weird. It's really weird to go to work with the sun. I'm trying to think, like, I think that I think I started, when I started, I gotta look at the old original videos. But I definitely think I started in the dark. Then I worked my way into like every day having the sun up. So maybe this is how the original videos look. stress enough. I really can't stress enough, like how awful it feels to still be going to work. You know, that everybody was asking me if I feel relieved, and it's like I don't feel relieved yet because I'm still having to freaking go do this job. I said it before. The only thing that I enjoy about my job is shooting this video. Is the morning commute videos. And I know it doesn't seem like I like it, and I know it doesn't seem like it's even helping me. And you have no idea like how incredible shooting these videos is for my sanity, to get things out. I have done really weird things because of it, because I start talking through things. And this is a lot of talking to myself, or seemingly like I'm talking to myself, which is like bizarre. And I have taken up talking to myself, especially when I'm delivering the mail. I'll be talking to myself like I'm broadcasting. I mean, I do silent, silent sessions, but I've had sessions where the mic wasn't turned on, and I've had all long conversations, and basically it's all conversations with myself because it wasn't recorded. But yeah, doing these morning commutes videos are awesome. I love doing them. I'm glad I thought it up. I'm glad I thought, hey, I can, intermix something that I have to do every morning with something that I want to do. And it didn't take off like I thought it was going to. I thought this was going to be one of my more popular videos, and it didn't quite hit, which is fine. Somebody was saying, like, they have videos like 7-8 years old. Back when I wanted to start doing this, they have videos that are 7-8 years old that all of a sudden people discover, and they start doing really well. And the algorithm picks it up because it starts doing that. And once the algorithm picks it up, it starts getting back into circulation again. So basically it gets a second life. None of my popular videos, at least I don't think, I have to check, but I don't think any of the videos that you see in popular videos are not loud noises. So it definitely still seems like I'm pretty much just a music video streamer, which also might be hindering, like when somebody turns this on and I'm not singing and I'm just talking for a half hour. And you're like, what the fuck? But yeah, the one thing that I'm going to miss doing every morning is the morning commute. I might just do like morning, like a morning Joe, like me getting up and waking up and turning on the computer and running a quick live stream. Because I'm going to miss this that much. It's very different. If I do that, like a morning, morning wake up and stuff like that, different than this. It's something that I noticed with the singing. I sing differently, like when I'm singing in the car, when I'm singing on my route, when I'm singing without being recorded, and then of course how I sing recorded. There's something about being able to focus on the music when I'm singing, as opposed to being reading the lyrics or following the karaoke, or both. I have my own lyrics, and I follow the karaoke of where in the song I am. And I have to tell you that is extremely difficult to do. I hope that I make it seem easy, but I struggle with that more than anything else, and it definitely affects the songs. The best example of that is the no music karaoke's, and compared to the actual ones with the music, because there I'm listening to the actual song that I sang. So I have the lyrics in my head, and I have the lyric sheet in front of me, and I'm not having to look at the original song to find out where in the song I'm supposed to be. And the best example of like how that falls apart is Iron Mouse Makes a Harem, the Fast Cars Tracy Chapman's Fast Cars song, and parody. When the music was having trouble, where in the lyrics it wasn't following it correctly anymore. And I was scrambling to either catch up, figure out where in the song I was, and actually sing it, and then I was having to do all three of those things at once. And somebody even mentioned in the comments that, boy, this feels rushed, and it's like going, yeah, because the bouncing ball was going kind of crazy. It stopped for a moment, and I didn't know whether I should keep singing or I don't know whether I should have kept on singing, or whether I should wait for the bouncing ball. And then when it started back up, it was jumping. So I was trying to put the lyrics into where it was, so I could be where it was. And it was all over the place. The first time I sang Iron Mouse Makes a Harem was awful. It came out absolutely awful. And the second time I sang it, because I did another take of it because it was so bad, because of the technical issues. And it was much better, but knowing from the first how that worked out, you can easily see with watching the second, well, I did, you can easily see like me watching the lyrics and how that plays out, and how second between looking at the bouncing ball, or looking at the original song lyrics go on by, when you're supposed to sing them, to me reading the lyrics, you can actually see that whole process because of the original song. Even songs like The Girl I Once Knew, my Iron Mouse tribute, that's directly from, that's me reading directly the actual words from there. And I could have put so much more emotion into it, so much more feeling into it, because I was feeling all those emotions and feeling. And I did not put any of it in. I sang the song, and then only at the end, when I was about to cry, did I held back. And I don't know whether I did that because I was going to cry the entire time. Like, I was already ready to cry. Like, I was already watery-eyed. And you can see it. I was already watery-eyed before I even started singing. I couldn't even practice the song because I would already be crying. Before I, let the song, sing. So I had to sing it the first time. I had to record the first time. It had to be done that way, and it came out. I think it came out okay, but it could have been so much better. So much better. House of Pain, same thing. So much better. And these are covers that I'm talking about. And then when you get into the my parodies, and it's like, I don't know if I could say it's worse, because the parodies, you don't have the song with those lyrics to compare anything to. There's nothing, nobody says Weird Al has to sound like the artist that he's parodying. When I do a Poison song and I'm singing White and Nerdy, I'm supposed to sound pretty nerdy. I mean, not white nerdy, talk nerdy to me. You're supposed to sound pretty nerdy. And I'm a pretty nerdy guy, so I think it works out. I sang Inagata Davida in Klingon, so I mean, that's pretty nerdy if I have to say so myself. And to give myself some props on that, I sang in Klingon. I think it's because when I first got into Star Trek fandom, and became a Gorn, and I wasn't a Klingon when I started. It's not like 40K, but I was a Gorn, and when I saw the Klingons, doing their whole, shtick and having a language, this is before they had an official language. So this will tell you how old I am. But they were doing this whole thing, and it was like they had a couple words and stuff like that they said over and over again. And I thought it was like, pretty funny and fascinating. And they were like, talking about like, uh, Shakespeare in the original Klingon, and all this really crazy stuff. And I never heard anybody like really get into like what Vulcan is or Romulan is and everything like that. But the Klingon language has always been there, and it is what you know attracted me to it, and I got into it, wholeheartedly. And yeah, to give everybody kind of a timeline, the Wrath of Khan came out, and that was when I switched my fandom from the Gorn and the Arena episode of the original series to Klingons, which I didn't really care for. If you really want to know the truth, I didn't really care for the Klingons all that much. I thought that they were just kind of like a plot device. And I think because I was small and very weak at the time, I chose the Gorn because the Gorn were strong. And that's what I wanted to be, is strong. But like I said, I was blown away by the idea that because I've heard translated music, from English into other languages, and I've heard other languages, how beautiful their songs are, and then how they're translated into English and how like butchered the song is when it gets translated, because it's like they wanted to go for song over substance. Like the song's meanings mean something, and you gotta put all that symbolism in somehow. I don't care how you fit it in, you have to fit it all in. But I was in that whole like, how other languages and sounds and things like that. And so yeah, I got together with a bunch of people and we were translating a bunch of Klingon, a bunch of pretty much English word songs into Klingon. And we were picking songs that mostly heavy metal, mostly rougher, tougher, war type songs and stuff like that, war cry songs. And we were translating them, and Indagata Vita was one of the songs that we translated. And it's originally called In the Garden of Eden, and so I had that already translated. When it came time to actually singing any song, yeah, we failed. So none of the songs got sung. We talked about them. We sang like verses and stuff like that before, and then everything just sat. I had the folder with all the translations in it, and when I was thinking of a song to do one, there's not that many words in Negata Vita, and not only that, it repeats. It's a song that repeats, and so that's what gives its length. The lyrics are only half. It's half the song length, and the song is not that long to begin with. I think it's mostly music. It's mostly musical interludes, and yeah, somebody was saying like it's like the shortest song ever, and it's one of the reasons why I chose it to sing. But when I looked at it I lost, you know, where we were when we were originally writing this to where I am today, and especially with my anime, you know, background now, and you know, all the Alan Moore, and you know, all this, you know, you know, Finnish, Norwegian, books and things like that, and you know, German, and Russian, and Chinese, and Indian, and you know, even Swahili, and you know, all this other stuff that I've been like, you know, having in my life. When I finally looked at what we wrote, it was like, yeah, it was almost unreadable, and it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense for the, you know, where the Klingon language had evolved to what we wrote back in the day when there wasn't really much of a pattern. It was literally just a translation, word for word, and you know, we made up words that, and we made up words on the ones that did not translate. So I had to change that. So it took a little bit of work to get that done. But like the fact that I sang it, I'm still like blown away by my own. Is it hubris? Maybe, I don't know, but I'm blown away by that, and it makes me feel really proud that I actually did that, and I don't think that it even gets recognized. Maybe because people aren't interested in Klingon anymore or Star Trek, but I don't even think it, like, you know, that song in my mind, especially with Trek fans, should be the most popular song on my in on YouTube. It should definitely be the most popular song. If the Star Trek fans only, you know, were a couple million, I would be like going, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. But it's hundreds of millions of people all around the world are Star Trek fans, and from little tiny babies all the way up to, you know, people in their 70s and 80s are Star Trek fans. And I didn't even see what time it was. Yeah, it's time to go in. But like the fact that it hasn't hit. The fact that, like, you know, I mentioned to people like going, oh yeah, I did this, and they're like, what? I never heard of that. And I'm like going, how could you not hear of it if you're a Star Trek fan? That should have been a word of mouth. That song should have been word of mouth amongst the Star Trek fandom, especially the Klingon fandom. That should have gone. It should have gone completely crazy. But I shouted out the Klingon translator, even though I didn't use him at all, to try to get him to, you know, look at it and watch it, and I know he didn't. And you know, I thought it was just my singing, but my singing is fine. There's nothing odd or wrong with it. It's just in Klingon, and as amazing as that is, um, as amazing as that is, it is, you know, not, I don't think people recognize it. I know that the YouTube algorithm just, yeah. When I think about that, and I think that they give me thousands, I think I have, I reached 4,000 impressions. 4,000 impressions. I think that's where I'm at right now. And I think I'm even at 9.6 of the impressions getting a reaction. And if I was getting millions of impressions, 9.6 is awesome. 9.6 is 90,000 reactions to a video. But I'm getting 4,000. That's like 200 reactions to my videos. Somebody had a reaction. That doesn't mean they watched the video. That means that they either clicked on it or accidentally clicked on it and quickly moved on, or they accidentally clicked on it and it started playing. So that's the reason why I get like 2 to 4 seconds. And they're like, nope, this wasn't the video I wanted. Which I think is what most people do when they click on the Iron Mouse video, because I have Iron Mouse in the thumbnail, and when they click on it, they get me. And I think that that's what happens. But yeah, I should get to work. I really don't want to go anymore. I'm at that point where it's like, I don't even really want to be here. I have that sense of relief that as soon as it's all going to be over, but I'm also still in that holding pattern where I still need to eat, still need to pay my bills, so I still have to work. Even though I know it's not enough, even though I know I'm not going to earn enough, still got to do it. And I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you're having a wonderful time doing it. I say this with every video now, and if you don't mind, and you made it this far in the video, obviously you did because you're hearing me, just put a comment below and saying that you did. I did it even works. But if you really don't know what to say, just say cool beans. Because that's my sign off. And as always, cool beans. Alright, take care.